Welcome back to our channel, and thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting us. But if you have not subscribed yet, please encourage us by doing so. And God bless Biafra is a Fulani slave, retired General ÞΗΟΦΙΛΟΣ-DANJUMA, who sold out his boss, General ÇİİKI, to his Fulani slave masters and got him killed because he's a Biafran. Danjuma was Ironsi's trusted head of security guards, but Danjuma allowed the Fulani Janjaweed lies about Igbos to eat him up, which resulted in so much hatred against Igbos. But now his village in Taraba State has been overrun by Fulani terrorists, and his Fulani slave masters are nowhere to be found to save him and his villagers. Danjuma is now angry. Danjuma, in anger, has betrayed the Fulani Caliphate by revealing the truth that the northern Christians and Hausa military officers and soldiers were deceived by Ahmadu Bello, and now his declaration has set Nigeria on fire. According to reports, Ahmadu Bello's hatred for Nigerians, especially Igbos and Biafrans, is what led him to make his infamous declarations, as reported in the Parrot newspaper on the 12th October 1960, 11 days after Nigeria got her independence. With the undeserved power handed to him by the departing British as the premier of northern Nigerian region, Ahmadu Bello's declaration was able to set the new nation called Nigeria on fire. A fire that today is consuming Nigerians through genocidal violence by armed Fulani terrorists for land grabbing, the use of the illegitimate 1999 Nigerian Constitution, through which the resources and the lands of indigenous people in Nigeria are seized by an illicit government that is Fulani dominated, plus progress and modernity are deliberately denied Nigerians. Ahmadu Bello's declaration has 5 components which the Fulani would action. They made Nigeria, that is, he told them, make Nigeria an estate of the Fulani great-grandfather, Usman Dan Fodio. He also said that Fulani must ruthlessly prevent a change of power, and that is what is happening currently. He also made a declaration that Fulani should use the minorities in the north as willing tools and the south as a conquered territory. And that was why they were able to use the retired General ÞΗΟΦΙΛΟΣ-DANJUMA to murder the first Igbo general in the Nigerian military, General ÇİİKI. Ahmadu Bello also declared that the Fulani should never allow Sultanas to have control over their future. Ahmadu Bello's anti-Nigerian people's agenda was the reason for the first military coup of January 1966, which was done to make Awolowo the rightful prime minister. Yet, they collaborated with the British government to tag that first coup as Igbo coup. Since it did not succeed, a false narrative was spread to call it an Igbo coup. Then the Arewa coup later that year in July 1966 is how, with the help of the willing tools from the Middle Belt, the Fulani Caliphate was able to seize power over Nigerians and take control of Nigeria, unknown to the northern minorities. But the Fulani, fronted by the various willing tools, using military heads nicknamed the Class of 66. The reward for being a willing tool is, of course, money. The Class of 66 were handsomely, very, very handsomely rewarded with extensive lands given to them for farms. Plus, they were given oil and gas-rich land of indigenous Biafran people as oil blocks. And that is why ÞΗOΦILUS-DANJUMA has an oil well. And that is the reason he has an oil well in Biafra land. You know, the visible power of the Fulani Janjaweed is the tripod of, number one, control of the armed forces, especially the military. Number two, control of the oil and gas of Biafra land. And number three, monopoly over beef, that is, selling of cows and other animals. However, the actual instrument used to bring on Ahmadu Bello's declaration is the illegitimate 1999 Nigerian Constitution foisted upon Nigerians. It rendered Nigerians defenseless against Fulani terrorist invaders and their Islamic terrorist co-killers. It gave the Fulani Janjaweed the courage to take over other people's ancestral land under the guise of cattle grazing route and Ruga, that is Fulani colony. That was what they did. You know, the United Kingdom government, after leaving Nigeria in 1960 and handing power over to the Fulani Janjaweed, saw that Biafrans, especially Igbos, were the top in all industries and the military. And the UK government knew that the forced marriage called Nigeria would not last for long, and the military might even take over leadership. So in 1966, they sponsored the first military coup led by Kaduna Nzeogu, who thought they wanted to install Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Rather, that was not so, and the same Awolowo was arrested and imprisoned at Calabar prison. You know, the coup was tagged Igbo coup, despite having a lot of Yoruba and other tribal soldiers who are not Igbos as members of the military coup hierarchy. The United Kingdom government did this to instigate the unsuspecting northerners, that is the Middle Belt, and other minority northerners against Biafra. The Fulani Caliphate took advantage of the coup, of the Igbo coup propaganda to deceive northern Christians, Hausas, and other Nigerian indigenous tribes that Biafra, especially Igbos, are their enemies. And this deception made the Christian northerners and Hausa military officers to help the Fulani Caliphate in their revenge coup, tagged Araba, in 1966, which meant disintegration, and they massacred over 100,000 Biafrans in the north. Even one of the Fulani kings deceived escaping Igbos and Biafrans to hide in his palace. But the Fulani king locked the Igbo up and starved them to death. But before the Igbos died, they begged for water, saying, "Nye mmiri," which means "give me water." And the Fulani started calling Igbo Yamiri, a derogatory name. The UK government also took advantage to fund the revenge coup and convinced the Fulani Janjaweed and the Northerners not to leave Nigeria but to stay and help the British have easy access to Biafran oil and gas. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters, for watching this video, and bye-bye for now.